Hello. In this video we're going to have a look at tables, columns and macros. Here's a document I created in a previous video. So let's say I want to separate this into separate sections. So we've got a section in the middle and a separate section here. Probably you would think the best thing to do is create a table. There's also a column setting in Word 2007. But I'm going to show you the table version first, which is the, in my opinion, old-fashioned view. So I'm going to click on over here, click on Insert, and then create a table by clicking on the Table tab. And you can see how many columns we're going to have. I'm going to put 3 in here for now. So I have a middle section here just to make it thinner. And by clicking these sections, I can make it thinner. You can also make individual ones change just by putting the cursor, highlighting the cell, and I've made the individual one different. There we go. Just leave it like that for now. So what I could do, I could take this text and put it in there, and put chapter 1 in there. If I also wanted, I can merge this into one big cell. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to highlight this top row here because I just want that as one big section. Highlight it. Well, you can either do it in layout or design. So you could merge cells, split tables. So you can click on merge or right click and merge cells. You know, the buttons are all there. So that's all merged. I can also change the shading of this so it's invisible. So I'm going to highlight all of this. You can go on design and you can select different designs. So I could click, actually this one's quite a nice design there. You can also edit these by right clicking, borders and shading, and here we can change, add a box, so the box around it, etc. But I don't really want to do that. And for the next section I can add in this bit just by dragging and dropping. And there you go, and you can always highlight your row, right click, insert. You can either insert a column to the left, right, above, or below. So if I want to insert one below, I can do that. And I could also say to distribute these in an even fashion. So these are distributed evenly, or if I want the columns distributed evenly, but I don't really want to do that. And if you ever want to, now notice here I can't really see this section, but I can see here. So if I highlight this, I can always change the way this is. Well, I can hover about here and change it here as well. So that's one way you can always edit things, and that literally took me, 2 minutes to do. So you can really make your tables look impressive. You can use them to separate your text and input your documents. So I'm just going to go back to the way it was before, because there is another way of doing this. Just get rid of, there we go. Oop. You can zoom out by holding Control and using scroll to zoom out. So what I'm going to do next is use the column section. I can select which kind of text I want and set it into columns. So let's say I want these different sections into different columns. For the text you want highlighted, you can go to Page Layout, and over here we have Columns. If I click, I've got the option of 1, so if I ever want to reset it as one large column as it is now, I can always click on that. If I want to do it as 2, I can click on that. It hasn't quite done it as 2. Usually this would do it as 2. I'm not sure why it hasn't done it this time. 3. I think it's because we haven't got enough text, so I'm just going to undo that and select the whole page and just see if I can get the whole page to respond. So I'm going to try columns, 3, there we go. It's because there wasn't enough, so now we've got plenty. As you can see here, my my little page notes from last time have also changed as well. So you can always change this into this left one, so we've got a thin one here on the left and a large one on the right. Or the right, so the right's bigger. Or you can go to more columns and you can have, change it manually here. So if you want that one to be thinner, you can do that. But really, I just want this to be back to the one column. So that is one way of doing it. So if you wanted to create menu or flyer or one page with different columns, this can always be very handy. One final thing I am going to show you is how to create macros. What macros are is the keyboard commanding. So when I highlight street here and I'm pressing Ctrl and B, you can see I'm using the pre-made ones to make this bold. And if I press it again, it turns it off. But let's say I want to create a macro that will do both bold and italics. There is a way of doing this. If we go up to, I believe it's mailings, view. Here we go. If we click on view, over here we've got macros. If I click the drop down, we have view macros where you can view all the different where you can view global macros. Oh, does it allow you to view? Okay, you can view the macros or you can record them. So these are the viewed ones where you view the macros that you've created. We're going to record one. I'm going to record one that allow me to create italics. So I'm going to go bold, italic. For the first one, I'm going to create a button that will be up on the ribbon at the top here. I'm going to click on that. Ooh. And here we go. So we've got a new macro. I'm going to move that over to the side here and go OK. As you can see here, we've got it right here, and now my cursor has changed. It's saying it's recording. It's going to record what I'm going to do. So I'm going to press Ctrl and B and then Ctrl and I. So it's set what I want it to do, and then I click over here and tell it to stop recording. You can also pause it if you ever want to check something, but I'm going to stop the recording. So now, if I highlight this motorcycle and then press the button at the top, instantly it turns it italic and bold. If I press it again, it turns it off. You can also assign a keyboard command to this. So I'm going to click on macros again, record macro. Now, unlike before, I can't name it the same. I'm going to call this one italic. Last one was bold italic, but now I'm calling it italic bold. Oh, helps if I know how to spell it. Now you will notice that I don't have any spaces. Your macro names must be one word, and always keep it as simple as possible. You can name it as anything as you want. I could name this Bob or Globit or anything I want, but usually to know what you're talking about is always good to do this. So I'm going to assign it to a keyboard. Also down here we've got for documents, for all documents, or document there, but all documents there. You can also put a description here, but I don't think it's needed. So we got keyboard, so now I can assign a new keyboard. I'm going to do Control, Alt and B. So that is my new keyboard command for this. So I'm going to click Assign, Close, and now it's got the recording just like before. If I press Control B, Control I, it will set it to bold and italic. And then I'm going to click go over here and press Stop Record. So now if I go Fisher here, press Control Alt and B, it does it, Control Alt and B again, and it turns it off. And that's all there is really. That is how you can do macros, columns, and muck around with your tables. Hopefully you've enjoyed this tutorial, and feel free to check out all my other videos.